are the Group 4 to present and discuss to all of you the Module 7 entitled The Judicial Department. I am Ira Maria Bautista.
I am Siron Jean Andaya.
I am Shana Helena.
I am Elgin Miranda.
And I am Armelin L. Ruga.
So, before we begin the discussion, we would like to invite you to participate in checking your background knowledge about the Judicial Department. So, we have some important keywords here, and all you have to do is guess it. Can anyone guess these 4 pictures are trying to depict?
How about these jumbled letters? Who can try to guess the word?
Now, who can read the given quotes and share their own interpretation and understanding of this? Ignorance of the law excuses no man from practicing it. What do you think is this passage trying to imply? So, in separation of powers, we have these 3 branches. We all know we have this executive, legislative, and the judicial branch. The executive, which duty is to enforce or carry out the laws, the legislative branch, which duty is to create laws, and the judicial branch, which we will tackle, which duty is to interpret or review the laws.
Judicial Branch, Article 8, Section 1 of 1987 Philippine Constitution stated that the judicial power shall be vested in one Supreme Court and in such lower courts as may be established by law. As the third branch of the Philippine government, its main role and function is to evaluate laws. It also holds the power to settle controversies involving rights that are legally demandable and enforceable. This branch determines whether or not there has been a grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction on the part of instrumentality of the government. It is made up of a Supreme Court and lower courts. The judicial branch interprets the meaning of laws, applies laws to individual cases, and decides if laws violate the Constitution. Structure and organization of judiciary. The Philippine Judiciary Branch is comprised of regular courts tasked to administer justice, to review courts, and 2 trial courts as follows: Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, Regional Trial Courts, Metropolitan Trial Courts, Municipal Trial Courts, Municipal Circuit Trial Courts, and Municipal Trial Courts in cities. Aside from these 4 regular courts, the judicial branch has also what is called special courts. Special courts are bodies within the judicial branch of government that generally address only one area of law or have specifically defined powers. These are the Sandigan Bayan, Court of Tax Appeals, Sharia District Courts, and Sharia Circuit Courts. Organization of courts. Sharia court has the power similar to the regular courts, but the subject over whom judicial power are exercised are limited to Muslim Filipinos, while Court of Tax Appeals, which retains exclusive appellate jurisdiction to review by appeal not only civil tax cases but also those that are criminal in nature. Lastly, Sandigan Bayan is a special court that has jurisdiction over civil cases, including graft, corruption, and other offenses committed by the public officers and employee and those in government-owned or government-controlled corporations.
According to the 1987 Constitution, Article 8, Section 5, the Supreme Court exercises the following powers. Una, exercise jurisdiction over cases affecting ambassadors, other public ministers and consuls, and over petitions per certiorari, prohibition, mandamus, quo warranto, and habeas corpus. So, ano ang ibig sabihin nito? May kapangyarihan ng Supreme Court na gumawa ng legal decisions or judgments sa mga cases na nakakaapekto sa mga nabanggit. Pangalawa, it is the power of the Supreme Court na mag-review, revise, reverse, modify, or affirm on appeal or certiorari as the law or the rules of court may provide. When we say certiorari, ito yung order kung saan ang higher court ay nag-review ng decision of a lower court. So, ito yung mga ginagawa ng amendments for final judgments and orders of the lower courts. All cases in which the constitutionality or validity of any treaty, international or executive agreement, law, presidential decree, proclamation, order, instruction, ordinance, or regulation is in question. All cases involving the legality of any tax, imposed, assessment or toll, or any penalty imposed in relation thereto. All cases in which the jurisdiction of any lower court is in issue. All criminal cases in which the penalty imposed is reclusion perpetua or higher. All cases in which only an error or question of law is involved. So, reclusion perpetua, to clarify, it means permanent imprisonment. So, it is a type of sentence of imprisonment we have here in the Philippines. Now, just to sum up the idea of this jurisdiction of the Supreme Court sa mga na-mention na cases, makikita natin na ang Korte Suprema talaga ay napakahalaga para ma-judge ang mga cases na nakakaapekto sa Constitution, sa batas at sa mga legal practices. Ikatlo, it is under the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court to temporarily assign judges of lower courts to other stations as public interest may require. Sinasabi dito na yung mga temporary assignments ay di dapat mag-exceed ng 6 months without the consent of the judge concerned. So, bakit nangyayari yung ganitong temporary assignment of judges to lower courts to other stations? Kasi as aforementioned, nire-require ng public yung ganoong mga uri ng judges sa lower courts, perhaps because of the necessity of the people or the capability of the judge to handle cases, or maybe it depends sa situation.
Lastly, under the power of the Supreme Court, it explains the justice which is pinoprovide ng Supreme Court in order to assist the ones ng mga underprivileged and serve the rights of the people accordingly.
Court of Appeals. Alam ko na ang bawat isa sa atin ay meron ng kaalaman ukol dito dahil napagdaanan na ito sa mga nagdaang report. So, let's start. Sa mga nagdaang report at natalakay natin na sa isang government, given naman na magkaroon ng batas na susundin ng mga mamamayan upang magkaroon ng peace at upang mapaayos ang daloy ng isang bansa. Sa ilalim naman ito ay may mga batas din na maglilimita lalo na kapag hindi na maayos ang pagkakagamit nito. Crimes and civil infractions are two primary types of issues which courts address. For example, you can find guilty of a crime or held liable for civil charges in any state or if it breaks law of national government. The process by which access are heard is very similar across all states in a government. So, bago natin talakayin kung ano nga ba yung Court of Appeal o kung saan ito papasok, ay balik-aralan muna natin kung ano nga ba yung trial court. Trial court hears evidence, interviews witnesses, and allows each sides to present its case. So, paano nga ba papasok yung Court of Appeal? If the defendant in a criminal case or either party in civil case is dissatisfied with the verdict of the trial court, he or she can ask for an appeal. So, ano nga ba yung appeal? An appeal is a petition for the case to be heard by a new court. If a person found guilty in a crime is entitled to one's automatic appeal of her case with a lawyer provided to represent him or her if necessary. In addition, the prosecution cannot ask for an appeal if the person is found innocent in a trial court. Halimbawa, ang defender o ang nagbigay ng reklamo ay hindi masaya sa naging desisyon ng trial court, hindi maaari at wala siyang karapatan para automatikong mag-apela. Ngunit may karapatan siyang mag-request para sa apela at madinig ulit ang kaso. Kanina pa ako dakdak ng dakdak din eh. Ay hindi ko pa nga pala sinasabi kung anong Court of Appeal. So, the Court of Appeals hears criminal appeals from the provincial court in both criminal and civil appeals of the Court of Appeal bench. It also hears appeals from administrative and board tribunals. The Court of Appeals also reviews the record to determine whether errors of law or faults were made in the decision. Sa madaling salita, ang Court of Appeals ay may kapangyarihang suriin ng lahat ng mga hatol, desisyon, resolusyon, utos o gawad ng mga regional trial court at quasi-judicial agencies, instrumentalities, board o commissions at iba pang piling mga sangay ng Korte Suprema. Dito, dinidinig at sinusubukang suriin ang kaso at pag-uugali ng defender o nagsasampa ng kaso. In a Court of Appeal, attorney presents the fact of the case. No new evidence is introduced and witnesses are not allowed to called and questioned. There is also a jury. Kung sa trial court ay merong mga witnesses at andun yung mga defender at andun yung mga nagsasalita sa mismong court at nagpapahayag ng kanilang mga witness ay iba naman sa Court of Appeals. Dito ay maaaring yung attorney mo lang yung mag-present ng iyong kaso. So, in the Court of Appeals is made up of panel of several judges who review the case and make a judgment about whether the law was applied fairly at the trial court level. Kung ang trial court ay unang hakbang, ito naman ang pangalawang hakbang ng paghatol kung saan inaaral lang mabuti at binubusisi ang mga batas kung ito ba inaayon at tama. Court of Appeals decision can reverse the decision of the lower court. Kumbaga ay back to zero, which mean a person found guilty of a crime is released from the prison or that monetary judgment is reassessed.
Regional Trial Court. So first of all, the Regional Trial Court or in Filipino, pangrehiyong hukuman sa paglilitis are the highest trial courts in the Philippines. In criminal matter, they have original jurisdiction. Regional trial court were established among the 13 region in the Philippines. So consisting of Region 1 to 12 and of course the National Capital Region or the NCR. So there are many regional trial courts in each region as the law mandates. So each provinces or cities should have a national trial court or RTC. So RTC is the abbreviation for the Regional Trial Court. So Congress can create additional RTC branches when necessary by passing a law. So guys, take a look at the PowerPoint. So sabi dito, Batas Pambansa bilang 129 or commonly known as the Judiciary Reorganization Act of 1980 reiterates the power and function of a regional trial court from Section 19 to Section 24 that states as the follow. So yun nga po, ang regional trial courts hold from Section 19 to Section 24 ng Batas Pambansa bilang 129. So, first is the Section 19 or the jurisdiction in civil cases. So, sabi dito, regional trial court shall exercise exclusive regional jurisdiction. So, it states that exclusive original jurisdictions over action for annulment of judgment of regional trial courts. So, I will just summarize it. Bale, dito nilalaman niya yung karapatan at batas na dapat sundin under civil cases. So, nandyan yung possession of real properties, marital issues, basta related sa civil cases. So, next is the Section 20, the jurisdiction in criminal cases. Kung ang Section 19 ay about sa civil cases. Ang Section 20 naman ay about sa jurisdiction in criminal cases. So, sabi dito, regional trial court shall exercise exclusive original jurisdiction in all criminal cases that within the exclusive jurisdiction of any court. So, tribunal or body except those now falling under exclusive and concurrent jurisdictions of the Sandigan Bayan which shall hereafter be exclusively taken cognizance of by the latter. So, the RTC criminal courts typically try cases of serious crime like murder and robbery as opposed to petty crimes which reduce the burden of court cases. So next is the section 21. So the original jurisdictions in other cases. So sabi dito, original trial courts shall exercise original jurisdiction. So first is in the issuance of writs of certiorari, prohibition, mandamus, quato quaranto, habeas corpus, and injunction which may be enforced in many parts of their respective region and in action affecting ambassador and other public ministers and consuls. So next is the section 22, the appellate jurisdiction. So when we say appellate, it is concerned with or dealing with applications for decision to be revised or involving an attempt to get an legal decision change. So sabi dito, regional trial courts shall exercise appellate jurisdiction over all cases decided by metropolitan trial courts, municipal trial courts, and municipal circuit trial courts. So in this section is about appeals from lower courts but must be done in of course in legal process. Ano po? So next is the section 24. 23 pala. Section 23 or special jurisdiction to try special cases. So sabi dito, Supreme Court may designate certain branches of the regional trial courts to handle exclusively criminal cases, juvenile and domestic relation cases, agrarian cases, urban land reform cases, which do not fall under the jurisdiction of quasi-judicial bodies and agencies, and or such other special cases as the Supreme Court may determine in the interest of speedy and efficient administrations of justice. So yun. So next is the section 24. Section 24 is a special rule of procedure. So sabi dito, whenever a regional trial courts takes cognizance of juvenile and domestic relation cases and or agrarian cases, the special rules of procedure applicable under present law to such cases aside from the Section 19 to 24 ng Batas Pambansa bilang 129 that states the power and function of RTC or Regional Trial Court, we have here the Metropolitan Trial Court, Municipal Trial Court, Municipal Circuit Trial Court, and Municipal Trial Court in cities. So, sabi dito, power and function of Metropolitan Trial Court, Municipal Trial Court, Municipal Circuit Trial Court are truly explains from Batas Pambansa bilang 129, Section 32 to 37 as stated below. So, there shall be created a metropolitan trial court in each metropolitan area established by law. So, a municipal trial court in each of the other city or municipalities and municipal circuit trial court in each circuit comprising such cities and municipalities as are grouped together pursuant by law. And for the qualification, no person shall be appointed judge of this court unless he is natural born citizen of the Philippines and at least 30 years of age and for at least 5 years has been engaged in the practice of law in the Philippines or has held a public office in the Philippines requiring admission to the practice of law as in indispensable requisite. Take note that this is anchored by the Pambansa, Batas Pambansa bilang 129 Section 32 to 37. So, let's start from the Section 32. So, sabi dito, Section 32, Jurisdiction of Metropolitan Trial Court, Municipal Trial Court, and Municipal Circuit Trial Court in criminal cases. So, except in cases in falling within the exclusive original jurisdiction of regional trial courts and of the Sandigang Bayan, the Metropolitan Trial Court, Municipal Trial Court, and Municipal Circuit Trial Court shall exercise. So, masyadong mahaba, and if I read this, it will only consume lots of time. Maybe I should summarize it na lang. Ano po? So, um, uh, exclusive original jurisdictions over all violations of cities or municipal ordinances committed within their respective territorial jurisdiction. So it states that the court that gets to hear the case first. So, for example, municipal courts typically have original jurisdiction over traffic offenses that occurs within the limits. So the third paragraph discusses the offenses, violations, and your punishment under or based on the exclusive original jurisdiction. So it can be imprisonment or giving a fine money not more than 4,000 pesos or it can be both po. So depending on your violation. So next is section 33. So section 33 is jurisdictions of Metropolitan Trial Court, Municipal Trial Court, and Municipal Trial Court in civil cases. So, if Section 32 is about criminal cases, this Section 33 is for civil cases. So, civil cases is cases initiated by private parties. So, when we say private parties, ito yung it means any individual or organizations outside the government. So, cases are usually decided by a judge and punishment almost always consist of a monetary award and never consist of imprisonment. So next is section 34. So section 34 is delegated jurisdiction in cadastral and land registration cases. So, simple as these cases is about the law for land registration. The decision in these cases shall be appealable in the same manner as the decision of the regional trial court. So, next is the section 35. So, section 35, special jurisdiction in certain cases. So, sabi dito, in the absence of all regional trial judges in the province of or city, any metropolitan trial judge, municipal trial judge, municipal circuit trial judge may hear and decide petitions for a writ of habeas corpus or applications rather for bail in criminal cases in the province or city where the absent regional trial judge sit. So next is the section 36. So section 36 is summary procedure in special cases. So the Supreme Court shall adopt special rules or procedure applicable to such cases in order to achieve an expedition and inexpensive determination thereof without regards to technical rules. So, ano po? So, what are the criminal cases falling under the rule of summary procedure? So, we have here the violations of traffic laws, rules and regulation, violations of rental law, violations of municipal or city ordinances, all other criminal cases where the penalty prescribed by the law for the offense charged is imprisonment. So the last section in jurisdiction of Metropolitan Trial Court, Municipal Trial Court, and Municipal Circuit Trial Court is the section 37, the um, preliminary investigation. I found this one interesting. Sabi dito, judges of the courts and the metropolitan, etc., uh, shall have authority to conduct preliminary investigations of a crime basta't aligned or related sa cases na nire-resolve nila. And of course, must cognizable by the regional trial court. So, the preliminary investigation must really accordance in law. So, sabi dito, no warrant of arrest shall be issued by the judge in connection with any criminal complaint filed with him or preliminary investigations unless after an examination in writing and under oath of affirmation of the complainant and his witnesses, he find that probable cause exists. So, sa madaling salita, bawal gumamit ng connection, bawal ang sipsip, at dapat maging patas. So, any warrant of arrest issues in accordance wherewith may be served anywhere in the Philippines.
So, recap lang po, we are the Group 4 and our topic is the Judicial Department Module 7. Me, along with Elgin Miranda, discuss the two current issues and judicial branch. Armelin Ruga discussed separation of powers and Supreme Court. Ira Marie Bautista discussed the Regional Trial Court. And lastly, Siren May Andaya discussed Court of Appeals. And that's all. Thank you for listening.